Welcome to the Roundtable, episode 54. We are back. The gang is all here. We're going to jump into some serious topics, some funny topics, and just catch up with you guys. But let's see, we've got Poppy Pets Paris. I always get the name twisted. It's a lot of P's, but I'm happy to see you in the house. It says hello, happy Tuesday. Looking forward to another great roundtable. Well, we are glad you are here. Jenny Selby, good to see you. Saludos from San Diego. Saludos to you. We have Raider Rich. Yo, what's up? Good to see you. And 408 San Ho. That's right. Checking in. Respects. Good to see you. Jojo, there you are. Respects to you as well. Let me bring in the crew, you guys. Let me bring in my co-host. We have Sister Denise. Hey. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm glad to be here with you guys.
Yep.
Ready
Hi,
to
chat.
get the energy pumped up here. We got House Tattoo.
Hello, ladies. Hi, Jen. Hi,
And then we got
Denise.
Hi.
returning. We
I
have
almost stuttered there. I'm like, the Denise.
I know. I'm like, wait. You always forget my name.
You got Fred. What's up, Fred? How you doing?
Hey, guys. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good, man. How's
too,
everybody
brother.
doing?
good. I'm ready to get my energy pumped up. I was feeling like kind of tired, and I'm like, nah, we're gonna talk and get to feeling good over here. My little one stayed home sick. She's wearing me out, but got to keep on pushing, right?
Right. All right.
Let's just see. Let me see. That's right. Denise, I know you had an exciting weekend. Let's just jump right into how our weekends were, and then we'll jump into our stories and new stuff right after.
No, yeah, we had a good weekend. It went by fast because when you wait for Sunday, you're just like, it comes up, right? It comes fast. So Sunday came quick. It was our time to go to the hey Brenda. It was our time to go to the swap meet up with Brenda. Brenda drove all the way down here. You can see it takes her like almost 3 hours, I think.
Wow, okay.
To get down here. So she was down here. She she met up with me and Teresa and who else? Sonny was there, his wife, her brother, my husband, of course, and it was so funny because we're walking in. We all had met. Oh, Keisha too. My bad, Keisha was there. We're walking in and we had just passed like the restroom area, and then freaking Teresa's like, "Hey, oh my god!" And she's like, she's like excited to see this girl, and I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Oh, my cousin." She goes, "This is my cousin," and her cousin has been in the army for she said 13 years, I think.
Yeah.
A very long time. So she was on her stages of being on leave and then having to deploy again next month. So man, it was just by God's grace that they ran into each other. She said, they probably wouldn't have saw each other and whatnot, but that Teresa knew that she was going back to the army for another 4 or 5 years. And so man, we kicked it with her. She was such a cool person, to get to know right in those few hours that we're there. You want to say something?
No, I was shutting out over here. Okay.
So then, yeah, we all, got to the spot, and of course, like I said, Sonny was there. So we're all like, hey, what's up? And spent time with each other, just had a good time and danced, of course. And what else?
Hey, did Melvin cut up some chancla?
Huh?
Did Melvin cut up some chancla?
No, Melvin only dances at your
Melvin.
dances at your parties, but
That's right.
yeah, he was, we all had a good time, and we were just kicking back right there. And then after that, Brenda had to go home, and then me, my husband, Teresa, and her son went out to eat dinner. We just hung out, ate dinner, and then yeah, she went to her cousin's house down the street. I go, that's right here.
Mm-hmm.
She told me where she lived, and I was like, oh, that city's right here, And she said,
cool.
I'm gonna go over there. And I said, yeah, go, kick back with her. And And so that was it. That was our weekend. We were there from like 11 to like 5 at the swap meet.
Nice.
And then, you guys, so I walked to the restroom, right? I go to the restroom and I turn and look, and Sonny had already left. So I turn and look, and I'm like, hey, that guy looks like Boo Boo. And I'm looking at him, and I go, it is Boo Boo. So I like took a picture of him.
Denise, no, you didn't.
You get his autograph, Denise.
I took a picture of him. And I said, if he says anything, I'm gonna just say, oh, I'm starstruck, like, you know?
Oh, that's
I
good.
sent it to Sonny, and I'm like, look who's here. And he's like, damn.
They barely miss each other, huh?
Yeah, just like miss each other.
Oh, wow.
I
That's
know. I
hilarious.
was like, it would have been all bad. I said, Sonny, you want me to beat him up for you? No, I'm kidding.
That's
But
hilarious.
It was so funny, guys.
So he didn't see you taking the picture, though?
Huh?
He didn't see you taking the picture?
No, he didn't even take a picture, no.
How funny.
She was undercover.
I'll send it.
That's
Right.
so funny.
It was too funny, you guys.
But you know what? It always seems like a good time when you guys go. It's like everybody looks like they're in a good mood, feeling, good vibes, music, all that. So shout out to everybody that went. I'm glad you guys were able to get together.
Yeah, it was cool. We missed a lot of people, but next time.
Yeah. Sorry, you guys. I'm trying to find the glasses that are gonna my eyes are bothering me today, so I'm trying to go with these.
How many fingers do I have up?
I can't.
Right.
I'm lying.
Oh, wait.
Start
My
playing
insurance
tricks.
kicked in, so
Right?
I gotta go do all that. Get my
I know.
glasses.
Oh, nice.
Get a new script. What about you, Fred? What'd you have going on this last week?
This last weekend, you know what? It was great. I had to go to physical therapy, and get the stuff done for my injuries, but that was great. But
Yeah.
on Sunday, my compadre, and shout out to Marty, he's doing good. He's driving now. He's good, man. It's good to see him come back. He's been through a lot, so shout out to him. And he says, "Hey, man, compadre, let's go to my one of his family members. They had a party for graduation on Sunday, and so we went, and it was here in town, so it was cool. It wasn't too far from home, so." And they had a blast, man. We just, we went there. They had a live band, and it was just great. To be honest with you, it was awesome. Like, and it goes plenty of food, music, and everything, and it's like nonstop of everything. It was a full blown party, man. And I mean, we pretty much were there, and from like 3 in the afternoon till like 11 something at night, something like that, and. Finally came home, and I'm like, hey, I mean, it was cool. It was fun. I had a lot of fun there. I mean, at one point I came back home and grabbed a sweater because I think, I was like, we'll be there for a little while, And but other than that, no dancing and stuff due to injuries. But hey, we were there enjoying the party.
Right?
It was cool. It was cool.
That was locally, the party?
Yeah, it was here. It was here in town. It was out here in town, and it was just, you know what? I will say this: they had a live band. God darn it! I had the card. I shut them out. They're from Salinas. And when I saw them, and this is not in no way anything bad. I mean, they were kind of like it was the drummer, the accordion player, the bass and guitar. You know what I mean?
All right on.
And what happened was they were mixed matched, kind of deal. They were kind of just like whatever kind of deal. We didn't think it was the band.
Really?
And but the thing about it, I believe that the oldest guy, which is the lead singer, he was 25 years old.
Oh, what?
They were all young, and but I'll tell you what, looks are very deceiving because they were jamming.
Nice.
Like I was like, wow, man. I mean, they were rocking that place down. You know what I mean? I was like, Jesus, like, all right, cool. It was excuse me, it was a great time. It was a great time. So yeah, but yeah, that was cool. That was cool. But yeah, had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Live bands are freaking awesome. I love them.
Yeah, most definitely. That's right. And House, what about you? What you got going on this last?
Spent time with my kids like Friday. My grandkids, they came over a little bit. Saturday, I went to what do you call that? Celebration of life, because Sandy Locke passed away. The one we were praying for at my church, she passed away. So they had her services. We had her services Saturday, and then Sunday went to church. Been enjoying life, enjoying life. Went to church, had fun, fed the homeless. Went afterwards, fed the homeless, and watch the movies and just have a good time. Just enjoy life. Take it day by day. Yeah.
Right on.
I love it. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, I actually went out.
All right.
For me, I went to a baby shower, but it was this side of the family. It was like a
Yes.
big deal.
Yeah. Okay. You gotta get that one. I wish
It
you
was
lived
right. It was at the Salinas Posse ground. Fred, that's a big area. So
Oh yeah, very big.
yeah, there was probably like, I don't know, there's probably like 200 people there. So it was a big deal. I saw a lot of family that I have not seen or been around in years. So I didn't know what to expect. You know me. But it went good. It went good. And I just enjoyed myself, and Ruby had a fun time. She was like, first thing she saw was a jump house, and she, her eyes went straight to that jump house. She was like, yes.
Right on.
And she played the whole time. She was giving all the little boys a run for their money. They were chasing her. They couldn't hurt her. So it was fun. Yeah, they had live music too. And then one of my nieces is actually a DJ. So she was doing her music afterwards, after the live band left. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Some games. It was funny, watching the women do like, what is it, where they pulled the chair out. And then the guys, they were doing hot potato, and it was just funny watching a bunch of
Yeah.
It was really, really cool.
Wait, that hot potato's not with the stocking, is it?
It was. Had a teddy bear. They were using.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, it was a trip. I forget sometimes. You know how we sometimes talk about music and we're like, this music these days is so raunchy and blah blah blah. But we're playing music like from back, when we were younger. I was like, dang, I forgot how nasty some of the songs were. Because they start playing this song, and I was like, oh, I love this song. And Ruby comes running up, and she's like, Mom, here's the words of this song. And I was like, oh, I didn't hear. She's like, you were really bad, Mom. I'm like, oh Lord, I totally forgot. Like, you know what? Our music wasn't that great either. So, I mean, it was great, but you know what I'm saying? Some of the words.
Yeah.
And that just shows like how sheltered she is. Like, she don't hear none of that.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was fun. I had a good time.
Right on.
And then just, back to the old grind.
Yeah.
That's it. So
Sweet.
yeah. Happy to be here with all of you and
Nice.
touch base on everything. And Denise, I love that you took a picture of him. I'm still like laughing inside to think that.
Oh, I gotta send it to you. No, I'm glad that Sonny didn't see him, and
Oh yeah.
nothing went down. I really am. It's just funny.
Hey, when I see you posted, Denise, I thought it was part of the crew that day. I'm like,
No.
wait a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
So
it
that,
wasn't. And I was like, oh shit, because I was in the car coming back from the Swami,
Uh-huh.
and I'm in the car, and I didn't have my glasses, and I'm posting, pictures. And that one I hit that one accidentally, so that was on my feed, right? And I was like, oh, when somebody said something, I was like, oh shit, and I went back and I took that picture off. I didn't mean to put it right.
You
could have put that picture up for like. I didn't care. I really didn't care if it was there or not, but just for Sonny, because of what I had called him and said, hey, guess who's here? For me to post that would be like
yeah.
What?
Right.
Yeah.
So anyways, I took it down, and it was hilarious.
That is hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Well, that's good. You had a good time there, Denise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Good.
all of us had a good time. Yeah, Brenda. I met.
Yeah.
I don't know if Brenda could put his last name up, but I met a guy named Jaime that comes on. He comes on. I think sometimes here and then sometimes Jilu's channel.
Okay, we have a couple I missed, so
He was so starstruck to see me. He kept like, Denise, oh my God, Denise. He was tripping. And I'm like,
yeah.
It's
I
me.
Hey, you're a star now, Denise.
I'm on
Everybody
YouTube famous.
notices you. You
At the
can't
swap
walk
meet,
anywhere without being noticed now.
Right?
Security.
no, at the swap meet, I got called YouTube famous one time. This guy recognized me. He's like, "Hey, you're YouTube famous." I'm like, "Huh?"
That's
Okay.
so funny.
But yeah, it was fun. It was funny. We had a good time.
Has anybody else experienced that though, guys? You, Jen, or House? Have you guys experienced that before?
I did. I have experienced 2 times.
Is that-
Recently, I experienced one with a Happy Girl, 1977.
Okay.
Because I seen her somewhere, and then back in the days, they used to know me as Truck Driver George, right?
Okay.
And I used to go to the comedy shows all over. And then when I was there in the front, Jeff Garcia, he used to get me in the front or whatever. And then when I was walking out, they go, "Hey, that's Truck Driver George from the radio station," But yeah, 2 times.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
My head ain't big. Come on, it's just like small.
No. Well, I mean, it's kind
Just
of
a
cool.
person just like you and me.
It's a little flattering. Why not?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I really don't, like I said, you guys know I don't get out too much, but I mean, it was cute. The one time that it did, well, twice. The one time it did happen, it was a little girl that saw me. And it was like at the grocery store. She's all, "Look, Mom, it's Convicted Hearts." And I was like, "How is that?" But she was honestly like, she was like about Ruby's age, so could have been from my little one telling her. I don't know. But then another time it was a little bit awkward because I wasn't prepared. It wasn't like anything weird, but I didn't think I don't know. I just never think anybody would recognize me. I just go about my life like a normal person, right?
Yeah.
That's what, and somebody actually just walked up and was like real close to my face talking, and it threw me off. And then they were like, "Oh, can I get a picture?" And I was like, "What? Oh, with you?" And I'm like, oh yeah. It just threw me off for a minute. I was thinking, "A picture of what? What do you want a picture of?"
That's cool.
But then I was like, "Yeah, let's take a picture." So yeah, a couple
Hey,
times.
can I share a story real quick with Fred? Because I don't know if you can relate to this, but you know how I was a bus driver just like you, Fred, right?
Yes.
Well, we were off and we're gonna have a party at the house. So I said, "Okay, it's time to go to Stated Brothers, grab all the liquor and everything, and head on our way back home, And so we did that, and we're in line, and all of a sudden, all kinds of alcohol we put on the counter and everything. I was still in my uniform. Right behind me, here comes a little girl and her mom. "Mommy, there's the bus driver right there. There's our bus driver." I look at this. I just smile. All I can do was smile and laugh, And they didn't say nothing, but
Yeah,
no,
that's funny though. I mean, that's funny though because we have an image to uphold as a bus driver.
Yeah.
I had that happen too at the school
My
before.
grandma passed away probably like, when I tell you, sis, maybe 6 months ago.
I didn't hear what you said. Was that?
My bus driver.
Oh,
As a kid going to school, he passed away like 6 months ago. He was the coolest dude, man. He looked just like Hulk Hogan. We used to call him Hulk Hogan. But
that's
we
funny.
call him Hulk Hogan. He was such a trip. Yeah, he was a cool guy.
Fred, you said that you get recognized, or you have been recognized?
Yeah, well, one time twice. Like I think twice at Costco.
Oh,
One of the guys at the register was like, "Hey," I was like, "What the heck?" Like, hey, and they knew me because of Cholo Trucker. And then another time, the guy knew me for Cholo Trucker, and he goes, "Hey, I heard you called into the Rhodium Radio or whatever. I heard you on the radio, on the podcasting." And then No, one time, like the same thing with the like house. When Cholo Choco first interviewed me, I was working at the school where I'm at, and it's an elementary school, you know. So there were like, I believe there were like seventh and eighth graders that I went into the class one day, and I had just interviewed with them. I think that weekend or some whatever it was, right? So I walked into the class to go get some stuff or papers, whatever it was, right? And they know me as Mr. Fred. So some of the kids there were like, "Hey, Mr. Fred," and I'm like, "Hey," as I was walking out the door, right? And they're like, "What's up with Cholo Trucker?" And I was like, "What the heck?" I was like, "Oh," like I just go, "Yeah," like I don't want, I don't.
Right.
I walked out. It was just, but yeah, it was like, but these kids today, they find you anywhere, and yeah, another time, like I ran into somebody, I think it was at Kmart, and then they were like, "Hey, Dwayne the Rock Johnson," and I was like, "No, no, not for I'm kidding, I'm kidding." I'm
That's
kidding. I'm kidding. No. But yeah, I was recognized also at Kmart. No, not Kmart. Walmart. I'm sorry,
yeah.
Walmart.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I'm down to say hello to people. I might be
the lunch
thrown
lady. I was always saying, "There's the lunch lady."
yeah.
Hey, you know what's a trip, Fred? Is I would say it's been a long time since I've been a bus driver, but I see
Yeah.
some of them now older, and
Yeah.
I tattooed them. They came through and I
Oh, wow.
tattooed them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they used to be in third grade, fourth
Dang.
grade,
Oh,
And
wow.
now they hit me up on what was it, Facebook. And they
Okay.
said, "You used to be our bus driver and this and that, blah, blah, blah." And so they come over and they get some ink. It's a trip, man.
Cool. And
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing, right? I mean, when you can, when they remembered you in a good way,
Yeah.
it's a good way. I apologize to a lot of teachers and stuff and former bus drivers because I now I understand, because before it's I'm a bus driver, whatever, and it's like, dude, it's just I learned a whole new respect for that,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. That's good to hear.
Shout out to all the school staff and bus drivers and all that.
I'm going like this because Stomp said
Oh, you got
Denise's
your
cool, but not her Cowboys, and I'm like, what?
oh, okay.
But
I pretended I didn't see that because it was in school.
Oh, right.
What's your team? Stop that.
Yeah, Stomp's team was something weird.
I like Cowboys. Cowboys where?
You guys remember how we talked about the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight? Well, it's coming up like in July, I think. I think it's like July 20th. And I don't know. I'm still like, I saw this little interaction. I'll show the video real quick, but I feel like they were so playful, and I cannot wrap my head around them.
Gators.
But I'm gonna play this short one real quick just so you can see the size difference, and then the next, you guys will see what I'm talking about. So let me see if I can get this up here. I think this is the one that shows the difference in size.
That's crazy.
Don't they seem like that's not a typical how they act when you're like, starting to meet someone right before a fight? They act all
I seen that too, and they're in it for the entertainment. But I hope Mike Tyson does bring something to, not just to put an exhibition on. I mean, really lay it on this guy. I want to see him get laid on, because he's younger, bigger, and he starts picking on all these old guys. You know what I'm saying? So I really hope Mike Tyson doesn't really hurt him too bad, but really brings it and puts it on him, man. That's just me,
very cocky.
Yeah.
I have to agree.
Yeah,
I have to agree. I'll be honest. At first, I'm like that. I'm like House. I was like, man, I want to see him get wrecked, and then it's like, no, you don't want to do that. You know what I mean? That you don't want to see somebody, excuse me, somebody get that hurt. Like, but yeah, I hope he does. He kind of that he take a step back, like, wow, like maybe I'm not as good as I was thinking I was, kind of deal. Just a little bit of humbleness, and that's it. Nothing too bad.
I know. So let's do this next one real quick, and then this is their like they're sitting at the desk, like supposedly talking smack on each other. I'm like, okay, guys, let's.
I don't know if he's in his prime. He's fat. He should be lean and mean. He's fat and funky. I saw him with his shirt off the other day. He's fat. Did you start training already?
Buster Douglas was fat, am I right?
I know, but you're no Buster Douglas. He's not gonna win. Nigga, he couldn't even knock out Nick Diaz.
Oh, they still feel like they're playful. You know what I mean? They're bouncing back and forth. It's more like they're cool with each other, which I guess they are in life.
Yeah,
so.
they know each other and they talk to each other, but you know, I just want to see a good fight. You know, not like the other one he was talking. The last person he fought, you know, they were just joking around. It was kind of like a joking around, and I wouldn't say it was really an exhibition fight.
Okay.
I don't know.
I didn't realize that. Like Big Stomp said, Mike Tyson has always fought taller opponents. I didn't know that. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll put Big Stomps in there. I seen his video, man, and working on the bag. We're gonna throw him in there.
I don't think Mike Tyson's that tall though. How tall is he? Do you guys know?
Who?
Mike Tyson.
Tyson.
No, the other guy's about 6.
Like 10, something like that. I don't know. I don't know. Like 10, 11, something like that. But I'm guessing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me double check while we're on
Yeah.
here. But
I don't know, but I think they're taking it easy. Excuse me?
go ahead. Well, I'll look this up.
They're taking it easy.
Is that going to be a fight to pay for? Do you know, or is it free? Is it a pay-per-view?
I don't know.
It's on Netflix, right?
Oh, is it?
Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be viewed on Netflix. So I don't know if it's one of those things where if you have Netflix, then you just automatically get to view it. I mean, that's what Netflix is. It's a streaming service. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming if you have Netflix, you'll be able to view it. But it looks like, so Tyson says here he's 5'10", and then Jake Paul is 6'1". So
wow.
That's what they're
doing.
I don't know. I mean, I think they're taking it lightly. It's because it's an exhibition. It's not a real, I think it's like, but I think once they step in the ring, it's going to be a whole different story. They kind of turn that on, but.
That's kind of what I was.
Hey, there's going to be ears flying everywhere, huh?
We'll be like.
Well, I'm gonna watch it for sure. I'll watch
it. Yeah, I'll check it out too, but not I won't pay for it, but I'll check it out.
Right.
If Linda could drop Jaime's full name, because I forgot his last name. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Brenda, if you're on here, Denise was.
I'm sorry, I forgot his last name.
Okay.
But it was good to meet him. It was good to see him.
Tyson got beat by Buster because Tyson was not even ready for the fight. He was not prepared. His regular trainer was not in his corner at the gym. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, that makes a big difference, right?
No, that and Buster Douglas at the time, his mom had just passed like 2 weeks before the fight. So he had a lot of a lot of emotion in him or something like that, so so I mean, it is what it is. I think at the time, Mike Tyson, if I remember correctly, he kind of took it for granted. He thought like, he was young and he thought like, hey, this is a whatever, and I'll beat him and that's it. And it cost him, it cost him.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen. You never know. Banks, I know, with all the ears.
Ears everywhere.
Yeah, right.
That's what it goes down. Let's see this. I don't have a clip of it, but I was just reading, some news articles earlier, and this one came up where it was talking about this lady whose vehicle was towed and it was in her own driveway. So when I got to reading it a little bit further on, I was like, dang, I wonder what happened. So she wakes up, her car's gone. She calls the cops and is like, hey, my vehicle's gone. It was stolen. So I guess, they ran blades and stuff, and come to find out, her vehicle was not stolen. She lived in a homeowners association, and they towed her car out of her driveway because one of the tires was on the curb.
No way.
Them HOAs, man, sometimes they are so strict. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Sorry, guys.
Bless you. Bless you.
That's why when you purchase a home, make sure you don't purchase a home in that area, with an HOA,
Right. It reminded me of that. Like I got to thinking about, you know what? It's true. Like my ex-in-laws, they live in an area that's just right, the first house behind a gate. And like when they first moved in, my father-in-law would always be joking and he'd be like, oh, they're probably gonna like hate us, because we have like all kinds of cars, people coming and going. And it's true, they would always call and complain, the neighbors, and it was always an issue. And they towed my car one time because I didn't know why at first, but I guess I was too close to the big mailbox where they have everybody's mail. I wasn't blocking it, but I guess there's some law where you can't be within so many inches or feet. And they towed my car. It cost me like $400 or $500 to get my car out.
Wow.
So yeah, those HOAs, I would not suggest living in one or choose to live in one if I had a choice. Yeah.
My mom has that. My mom has to, like, if you stay the night at my mom's house, you have to call the main office at a particular time in between time, and you gotta tell them that you're staying the night, and they take your license down, give you a pass and whatnot. So yeah, they're pretty like, it's like, what? But
good evening, drunken chef.
You have to do that over there.
I was laughing at what Stomp said about the Karens. They live in the HOA.
Do you have any issues? Do you have any beef with them, or is it pretty cool? Yeah.
Ooh, tell
little
me.
summary, Drunken Chef, as we're talking about ears in the ring, people getting towed, and HOA.
Yeah, was a trending news story this morning where a lady had walked out of her front door and realized that her vehicle was missing. And she found out it wasn't stolen, that her homeowner association had it towed. And it even showed her driveway. She showed where they had scraped, like she had a nice driveway, and they showed where it scraped where they pulled her car to tow it out of there.
Oh, damn.
So, I mean, I guess because one tire was on like an uneven curve or something like that. Sounds good, Telly.
I mean, if they tell you your grass needs to be cut a certain level, then that's like telling that's something you're like, what?
Right. Oh, they make their own rules. Okay.
Hey, I wonder if that's true. I know they have a lot of rules, but I wonder if they could add to it and continuously change it. I'm sure they should give a warning or something, not a warning, or inform their residents of it, Yeah,
I would think so, because if they change the rules all the time, it also depends like who's the head of the HOA, right? Like, something similar would be like, if you live in the county limits areas, you have a private well sometimes. So there will be like maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 homes that work on that one well. If you're not in the city limits. You have a person that lives on your street that basically collects all the payments for your water. Well, we had a person one time that was running the water company for the well, and all of a sudden, like a few years later, found out that there was thousands of dollars of debt, and that person had been pocketing everybody's money.
You know what, Jen? The area where I live in, we have a well, and they did that. They were taking money big time, and big time. That happened over here too, as well. What a trip!
Yeah, it happened to me too. So it's all about who's in charge. You got to stay involved, right? And see who's.
So the other day I went to go put gas, and I put $40 of gas, right? I get home and I always give the receipts to Mal, and he'll go ahead and take care of it. Well, he's like, they took 40 out twice, and I go, what? He goes, yeah. So I go, give me the receipt. So I went back and I went to the gas station. I go, hey, you guys took out, the $40 twice. And she looks at the receipt and she looks, she goes, hold on, let me go in the back and blah, blah, blah. Goes in the back, comes back. She goes, nah, it's not us. It must be your bank. And I said, no, my bank don't make mistakes like that. Not my bank. Because I have a good bank, Teachers Credit Union. I'm like, they don't make mistakes like that. And if they do, they would tell us. So we got on the phone with the bank and they put the money back and said they're going to investigate. Meanwhile, so they put the money back.
Yeah.
And come to find out, they called Malv, I guess, called him back. I wasn't home. He recently told me that because I go, hey, did they ever put the money back from the gas station? And he said, oh, the bank called, said that that they didn't know, they couldn't figure out what happened. And I said, what? So who took the money? Like, where's the money? Yeah. So he goes, I don't know, but they took the $40 that they loan us. And I'm like, so we're out $40. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. And I said, wait, that don't sound right to me. I go, somebody has to be liable for taking our $40.
Yeah.
And, we never got it resolved. It is what it is, I guess. And
it's crazy. They say to people they actually told my daughter that recently because she got scammed at a gas station too. That a lot of gas stations have those skimmers that are placed on there.
Yeah. You're right, Jen.
I thought it was one of those too, but I go there all the time and nothing like this ever happened. But at the same time, I'm thinking, okay, that day, the girl that worked there, she was all like in a bad mood. And I said, like, I confronted her, because she did something to me, like when it was my turn and whatnot. And then I go, are you okay? And she goes, no, not really. And I said, oh, well, I'll be praying for you, hope you have a good day. Right.
One time somebody was eating dinner on me and they lived in the Mid-East, on the other side of the country. And then I was getting charged for it on my account. And I'm like, wait a minute. I said, first of all, I don't fly. And I definitely haven't never been out there, So they had to investigate it as well. But, they put a stop on that card and do what they have to. But yeah, somebody was treating themselves to dinner on my behalf, man. Like, what the heck?
It happens. It happened to me too. And fortunately, was pretty quick to catch it because it was such a large charge. They were trying to buy airline tickets. And as you guys know, I don't fly either. So we're trying to buy tickets to British Columbia or something like that. And they flagged it.
You guys, you notice, have you guys noticed when, like, for instance, my Spectrum bill, right? Sometimes the internet's not even working and it takes like a couple days. So I'm like, okay, well, they need to reimburse me for those 2 days, right? Give me credit or something. Because I've had them tell me that before. So I already was hit to that. So I call and I'm like, hey, it hasn't been working. Like, you guys been out here 3 times. Like, what's going on? Like, I paid over $200 for Spectrum every month. Like, can you guys help me out with the bill? And they're like, yeah, sure, But sometimes you get people like feel some type of way, like if that's their company and they're it's like, come on now, like, I ain't asking for nothing free. I'm just saying, like, reimbursed for the days that it wasn't working.
Like they're the CEO of the company or something, huh?
Like it's gonna come directly out of their paycheck.
They own shares in there,
and then they make you feel like you're a Karen, just complaining for nothing. It's like,
but you're right. They should compensate back for when it's not in use. I mean, what's the point of paying for them that you can't use?
Right.
That's true.
That's very true. It's very true.
Come on, Thomas, get on
it. Right. So you guys saw, I'm sure you saw the, stuff going on with P. Diddy. It's trending news, so we have to touch on it briefly. But he made a video apologizing after this video came out where he was assaulting Cassie on that.
Did you hear him say that? I'm not. What do you say? He goes. Something about getting saying the apology, but he's not apologizing. He's just saying sorry.
I've got it right here. Let me play it. Then you guys, tell me what you think. I caught that too, though. Hold on, real tight.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. But sometimes you got to do that. I was fucked up. I hit rock bottom. But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy and go into rehab. I had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
What did that mean?
Right.
I'm not asking for forgiveness, but I'm truly sorry.
So my thoughts on that is his lawyers probably told him to say, don't sound apologetic. You know, issue a statement saying I feel like crap about myself. I'm this, I sought help, I this, I that, but I'm not saying I'm sorry, basically.
Right.
You know, I'm feeling bad about me.
What Pro said.
Yeah. But in reality, when you look at a lot of people that have money in his status, they think they could do whatever they want to.
Yeah.
And just because they could pull strings and they're up there, he's got a lot on his plate. You know what I'm saying? And we're all going to be held accountable,
Okay.
And what he's doing is not right, man.
Let me tell you guys something. So you saw the video, right? Of him dragging the girl, right? And kicking her?
Yeah.
Okay, did you guys see the part? Okay, so when he threw her to the ground, her purse went that way and another object went this way, right? So when he goes to go get her, before he grabs her and drags her, he grabbed the purse first, right? He picked up the bag quick and then he went and kicked her and then drug her, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it and I'm going, why would he pick up the purse first? To me, I thought, and I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right, you guys. But to me, I kept watching the video and I'm like, okay, he picked up that bag first, then he kicked her, and then he dragged her. I wonder if she was trying to leave and stole some of his, perhaps money or something, that was in that bag. Because why would he pick up the bag if he wanted to hurt her?
Yeah.
I don't know, but looking at all of his videos and seeing how he is, he's about that power trip mode.
Yeah.
It's power tripping, man. And
sure. I was just trying to analyze it before the whole story came out.
I mean, somebody even said that. I think somebody commented that one of his old bodyguards or something he had alleged that she stole from him. I'm like,
oh, really?
But you're a billionaire. Like, how much could you really have taken from your woman?
I mean, she probably packed her bag to leave.
Like that is an allegation. But and to me, I thought, well, what if he grabbed the purse because that had her phone? She could have called for help. That's another right there.
Yeah, true.
And that had her ID and her credit card where she could go get a taxi or whatever to get out of there.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll never know because that's obviously that between them is settled financially. But the thing is, I think it's really crazy that he was able to pay $50,000 to that hotel to keep that.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
From being seen.
Yeah. It's about money, right?
Yeah.
Money. I could do this. Just like, well, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll wait.
No, I don't want to throw the name, but the trial that's going on with the president, ex-president, same thing. It's about hush, shut up. Here, take that money and run and don't say nothing,
Hey, that's coming. That's crazy though. It's not to change the subject, but that Trump thing that's going on right now,
it's
turning back on him. It's all turning full circle. And I'm like, yes.
We got to dig into that one and maybe do a whole show on it. Because
the only thing for me was like, I mean, maybe he picked up the bag. He don't want to leave nothing, out there or whatever.
I mean,
what?
It just doesn't make sense why he picked up that bag first and then decided to kick her and then drag her in,
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
it's like
I-
drag her in, do whatever you're gonna do, and then go back and pick up the like that would be ideal. You know what I
the,
mean?
the, the thing for me though, what I don't really understand is how she still stayed with them for another 3 years.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, she was still with them for another 3 years after that.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
And it's like, the way I see, okay, look, okay, granted that, maybe before it could be like, access was limited. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have social media. We didn't have phones and, just stuff easy to, access to the world.
Yeah.
But in the 2000s, I mean, even like you say Facebook or even MySpace at the time would you still have access to the world? Why did she end up staying there? If that was the case, the other thing to me is it clearly shows that money doesn't buy happiness. It's like, I mean, if I had that amount of money, it would be like, man, nothing would even get me upset for that matter. You know, what I mean, I hardly even get upset at stuff. I mean, more sometimes myself, but it's like, what are you mad about, bro? You know what I mean? You could, what are you really mad about? Like, I'll go ahead.
I mean, we really don't know if that
listening.
was the first time that he hit her, or like Pro said, she was in love. It took a while.
They showed him throwing vases at her as well. They
Yeah.
had it on video.
Yeah.
But if you really look at his demeanor and how he is, he's violent. I seen a video of him make a phone call and act crazy because he got something done, just because he thinks power. He thinks of it as power, and it doesn't matter how much money you have, but he used that to enable other people to go get further off in their career or whatever. And he also used people, you know what I'm saying? And made people afraid of him,
Yeah.
And
So,
it's crazy.
Sorry, Fred, go ahead.
I mean, just
go ahead. I'm sorry.
go ahead and make your point, Fred, and I'm going to answer something.
So I dare ask the question, and this person, we had talked about it over this week, and so I know you're laughing. I know you're laughing. But anyway, so what happens to the $30 million that she was paid? The hush.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, within 24 hours, I think she wanted like 100. Not 100. She wanted, I don't know how much. I think $1 million or something like that, or $1.5 million, and he gave her $30 million within 24 hours. I mean, right away from the gate. I mean, I will tell you, right away when I saw that, and I said, man, he's guilty. Automatic, he was guilty. And then he came up saying, I don't want to get too far into it, but he came up saying, oh, this is you guys are trying to get a paycheck out of me. I'm innocent. And I was like, wow, dude, like, it's just sickening,
In that same conversation, that same video, he denied this situation ever happening.
Yes.
But the thing is, she didn't leak this video. The people who work for the hotel did.
Right.
So her hands are clean as far as the video coming out. Whatever he might have, it would be with the hotel people that he made an agreement with.
So,
did not work out well.
So I will say this though. On as far as the video, right? So I mean, he's sitting on evidence. And again, I know you're laughing because they're watching. Oh, did you watch it on Friday nights for entertainment? Was he like in Menace to Society, old dog, like getting having a good time about it? Like, man, stop showing everybody the tape, But anyways, I mean, I'm making light of it a little bit, but it's just ironic to me that he actually sat on that and had it in his house instead of taking it and I'm playing devil's advocate, take it and destroy it, dude. But he kept it. He probably enjoyed watching that for some reason. I'm just saying,
Oh, is that like something they recovered from his house?
Yes, that's what he had.
I thought the company from there.
He bought it from the hotel. He paid for it, and they gave it to him.
Oh, yeah, he paid $50,000.
Oh, I thought
he had it.
Anytime you do that, you have to keep in mind as well. A lot of people, they make copies of stuff before they give it back or sell it back or whatever.
Yeah.
They can make the money off of that. They're going to do it. And
Yeah.
you know what? When you said that, Fred,
Uh-huh.
it makes sense what you said. Maybe he kept it like as a lot of users do get off on seeing themselves doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's true because I've seen it in real life. I've heard of stuff like this, and it is something that happens. And I
And how
it
much
does.
did he offer Cat Williams several times to get him?
Mhm.
Man,
Yeah.
Oh,
that's crazy.
Who was her boyfriend after? Who was?
Oh, Kid Cudi.
Yeah, didn't
Kid Cudi.
he? Wait, Kid Cudi, didn't he die?
No.
Okay, somebody was her boyfriend after that ended up dead.
Well, I think
I forgot his name.
One of his girlfriends died, didn't she? Didn't she
Kim
pass
Porter.
away?
No, yeah,
Another- yeah.
but one of the girl's ex, somebody she went out with ended up unalive.
No, he put an explosive thing in his car or something because he was dating her after. This Kid
Right.
Cudi.
I
I
forgot.
think you're confusing probably the whole Kim Porter LB Shirt thing, but LB Shirt's alive. He almost passed because he had like a bad stroke, similar to, and I spoke about this on a few weeks ago or a month ago or so here on the roundtable
Yeah.
about the Jamie Foxx and everybody that got sick and everybody that kind of passed away with Diddy. Yeah.
What a
Yeah,
trip.
you're probably confusing it with LB Shirt.
Was his-
surrounding him. And
No, not Kim Porter. I know it's not Kim Porter. I know it's not his wife. It was her, that girl that he abused. It was her ex.
yeah, the only one I know is she had a boyfriend whose vehicle was blown up and he survived.
What?
Anyone
Yeah.
that died.
Yeah,
Who? What was blown up?
A
The car.
vehicle, the car
Yeah.
that he owned.
Oh, his car. Oh,
yeah, it was Kid Cudi's car.
But
oh,
thank
but he's
God-
alive. He's still alive. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I got it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
As far as for like, it's I think it's easy for people to say, and even you're not meaning any harm, but unless you've been in a situation,
Yeah.
where something, and maybe not even something that severe, unless you've been in a situation where you're being abused or, emotionally, physically, mentally, whatever, or all of that, you're not going to understand why that person's still there. It's so much
It's
deeper than just, you could leave, you could get in your car. Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
But
But-
most of the times there's a mental stronghold that nobody will get unless you have literally gone through it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's
and you know what, you guys, I was just talking about this because all this had came out, and I was telling my husband, you know what, when I was like 5-6 years old, I used to be with my tia a lot, right? And her daughter had this freaking abusive husband that just, she would take me with her because I'd be there. She would take me with her to the restroom and just lock us in there, and he would be pounding on the door. He became, she ended up having like 3 kids from him, but the worst like situation, you know what I mean? But yeah, you have so much with that person that you know, even if it's like you own a house, or it's just hard to get away, sis, like you're saying it, and then all that mental, it's a lot. And just me seeing it firsthand.
You know what? How I see it, it takes a lot to stand up to walk away from something like that when somebody does that.
Yeah.
But when you can do that, man, that's the very first start of saying you got your freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah, because nobody should be in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And you guys, I'm sorry, I was laughing at some of the comments. I wasn't laughing at I'm sorry. I didn't mean to come across as like I thought it was.
No, it's okay. No, I'm not.
I'll tell you what, guys. Honestly, like what crossed my mind and seeing that footage was I have 3 daughters, and I thought to myself, man, like it. I mean, I don't know if her parents are still around, but or she has brothers or anything. But it's like, wow, dude, like I mean, it just takes it to a whole nother level. You know what I mean? You start to feel, as it is, it's another direct kind of deal.
Mhm.
That's how I feel about it. I mean, it's just,
Yep.
right away you start to think like, you know, uh, because somebody has the nice house, the nice car, money, and everything. It doesn't mean a thing,
Right.
as
Yeah,
far as
like
the
what he
person.
said right there. He said a lot of domestic violence is never reported. Also, just because a famous person does it, it happens all the time. Yeah, it happens in everyday life to a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I remember a girl that I used to know. You remember? I think I mentioned to her, Denny, Jen. She passed away. You remember the one that lived in Big Bear? She had the white dog.
Yeah.
Well, she was in a relationship, and she used to kick it with all the people like Dr. Phil, all those other people in Hollywood and stuff like that. Uh, well, she made a decision to say, you know what, I'm leaving all the riches, because he had money, everything. She left and just says, you know what, I'm going to go on with my life because that's enough of this. And she did. She changed her life. And she finally got herself together out here and bought a home and everything. But hey, man, nobody needs to have that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good for her. That's good. That's awesome to hear that. And it's true, like what you guys are saying about wondering if you had brothers or a dad in her life, because that's one thing I thought, how could, then again, there's no reasoning with somebody that's that crazy or abusive. He's got daughters. P. Diddy has daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it ever crosses his mind, I'm doing this to a female, and that one day his daughters will be her age, and
Yeah.
they're going to think that kind of behavior is
Is
acceptable.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's not.
That's because what they seen and stuff, and it's not. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
most definitely.
You know what they're saying, right? What is it, Jenny?
Tell me.
Yeah, and I think in that statement, though, honestly,
Hmm.
to kind of go into a whole different way, I think it does get bad for the male. This kind of situation does look bad for the male, because then you got stuff that, like, say for example, Johnny Depp, right? We go into that.
Oh my
Then
God.
there's the newest trend people tend to use to try
Mhm.
to destroy somebody's character,
Yep.
and automatically, because of things like this, we automatically, he's guilty. And that's where it gets unfortunate. The same difference. Look, I will say this: the same difference as a woman who claims to be, you know, uh, beaten and all this other stuff, that's just doing it for out of spite.
Yeah.
It gives a bad name to the women who's actually having to go through that in real life.
Yeah.
It's the same difference, vice versa. You know what I mean? And I think that's where it becomes a problem, because now it's like, we and women in general too, though. Women in general, men in general. I think it's a bad thing.
I just
You know?
don't like that comment that Mexican
Why?
men. It's like, no.
Yeah, I'm not speaking of men in
It goes
general.
from
like
any race.
It goes,
Domestic violence
and
doesn't.
then look at Johnny Depp.
Say men in
Yeah.
general. It's like, come
Yeah,
on.
in general, it has no color.
Yeah, women
Yeah.
like that too.
Yeah.
Women too. Women are abusers too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
that there you go again. Yeah.
Well, it can go, it's,
Randy.
some people do try to place a label on certain ethnicities or races of men or women for different stigmas, but it is worldwide. It's, men, women, it's
Corrected herself.
could be anyone. You know what I mean? Like you guys said, it happens. And I'll tell you what, that right there makes me super angry, because for a woman who has dealt with domestic violence to know that there's women out there faking the funk and thinking it's funny to make it look like you were abused, or to put false information out there and smut some guy up when there's actual men out there really doing it. That's foul.
Yeah.
Really foul.
That's a bad thing.
Yeah, any race.
It's terrible. I mean, I don't agree with that. That's kind of like when I saw the P Diddy thing. I'm like, man, this is, and I speak for men in general. When you saw the Johnny Depp thing, you're like, okay, finally,
Yeah.
it's being heard. Now this guy comes along and he just kind of threw us back, 10 more feet, as men. I just think it's a bad thing.
It is, but that chick right there, she was diabolical. She was nuts. The Johnny Depp's ex-wife, what was her name? You guys remember?
Uh,
The chat.
uh,
I remember.
I
I
keep
don't,
on
I don't remember her name, but
Amber
sometimes
Heard.
you,
Amber Heard.
sometimes you have some
Amber Heard.
crazy women out there that will do some very harsh stuff,
Was,
Yeah.
that
And
was nuts when it came out and it showed all the stuff she planted and plotted, and she took a dump in his bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
That blew my mind. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
That's over the top.
You know what though? I'm also a firm believer though too that eventually the truth does come out. I do believe that and eventually the truth comes out. I mean, really, I just say it like this. Eventually, let's look at P Diddy for that matter, right? Um, Eventually the truth comes out, and I just think, I mean, whether it's worded, how the story's told, everything. These court systems, they know what's real and what's not. You're not fooling nobody. They can see if a story's fabricated, if it's over the top, if it's
Yeah.
I believe that the court system they go through it every day. They see it every day.
Yep.
They could tell by the body language of the person. It's not a it's not uncommon in the court world. To us, it is because we're not in that world. But
Yeah.
if we were to work in the court and see it every day, we start to recognize what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
That's how I tend to look at it.
no, I'm not trying to make light of the situation here, but where I draw the line is when you put a 1953 Chevy Bel Air in neutral and let it roll down your driveway.
Dude,
That's where I draw the line.
dude,
Yeah. That
yeah. What I mean? It's like, wow.
hurts.
Oh, but yeah, thanks for that, man. It's just, it's a touchy subject. It's really touchy subject for everyone, I think, because we're seeing it happen as it's going. Bodyguards are coming forward. Was it Roger Bond came
Yeah.
forward saying about Kim Porter? Gene Deal, said some stuff about him. It's just, now it goes back to the whole Tupac thing now. See, so now it just kind of goes and say, well, maybe he did put up the money for that, even though that's not how it went down. But, and like I said it on one of my things on my channel. It's like, I believe he's like OJ Simpson. OJ, for lack of a better word, guys, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody. Oh, hey, Margaret. For lack of a better word, they, he got away with it. OJ got away with it.
Yeah.
But then they still incarcerated him for the Heisman Trophy or his belongings or whatnot.
Trying to take his
They
belongings.
found a way to get him to go to prison. Either way, they just found a way to get him to go.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. And I think in this situation here, even as far as with P Diddy, as far as stemming back to the Tupac thing, I think that's what it is. That's all part of it as well. That's all part of it as well, because now it kind of removes that doubt. In my mind, it removes that doubt. Like, and I don't mean to start promoting having people. If you don't listen to that, that's fine. But if you listen to like the song "Hit 'Em Up" by Diddy, what he says about F Bad Boy as a record and as a staff and as a crew or whatever. I mean, was he right? We're looking at it now like, hey, that's the most realist thing.
Yeah.
He was right. And what he was doing. And finishing off that part, guys, and I don't want to get into it like that because we're drifting into something else here. But I do believe that the Notorious B.I.G. was his life was taken unbeknownst to himself. I think Diddy knew all this stuff.
Mhm.
I'm not saying he set him up in a sense, but he was just like, if you, I think it was Gene Deal that said, if you notice, Diddy didn't really take off until after Tupac and Biggie passed.
Hmm.
You
So it
know
was
what?
more about
You
him.
know, now that you're saying that, Fred, I
Yeah,
don't really follow all that stuff, but I see it here and there. But it's
yeah,
like pole positioning and who's on the top, who's going to want to
yeah,
be on the top, and you know,
yeah,
and yeah, that makes sense to me because I see that. You know,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
He took them both out, and then it was him. That's it. You
yeah.
know,
Who wants to
and
be on top?
being as narcissistic as he
Yeah,
is, and as he's proven to show,
yeah.
it, it's what it is.
You'll
Yeah,
even take out the people that are close to you. You know, it's sad.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
straight up.
That's
yeah.
wild. I mean, just right before we came on, I had noticed also she had stayed pretty quiet up until now, but his baby's mother to his son, I think the oldest son,
Justin.
Misa, she has stayed quiet up until now, but today she released a statement saying that something to the effect of her heart really breaks for Cassie and she can relate to exactly what she was through. So that's the first time we spoke on basically like she probably went through similar incidents with him.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
He definitely has a pattern and God only knows what's going to come out, and I just pray that everyone who was affected by his poor behavior and abuse
yeah,
gets healing and gets the help they need.
Yeah.
yeah,
His kids, I mean, the innocent children that were involved and had to
You know, and you know the sad thing about it is like treatment, certain treatment. Okay, when you have money and you have good lawyers, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
yeah, you know, there's a thing where you be put on a different status than your regular Joe. You know what I'm saying? Because if he was just a regular Joe, he wouldn't be sitting where he's at right now. You know?
yeah,
yeah, yeah. He'd be put away already. But
exactly. I was thinking too, like in that statement where he's like, I had to go to counseling, I had to get a lot of help. And then I was thinking, how ironic is it that every rich person who has a problem, the first thing they do is go into some sort of therapy. Or like, I remember when I don't remember which one it was, but when Halle Berry was married to that one guy and he was cheating on her, right? First thing he did was go to therapy and be like, I'm a sex addict. It's not my fault.
Yeah.
Okay. Help you, bro.
Yeah.
How that's gonna help.
You know what's one thing you guys brought up about the video, and it wasn't shown here, but when I saw it, I saw it on Instagram. One of the things I did see, I was watching it, I was like, you were just kind of talking. It was kind of like it was kind of just like kind of phoned it in, and I noticed that right before he reached out to turn the camera off, like he's actually trying real hard to be like he's really emotional about it, and you could see that
Yeah.
he was not emotional about it.
Uh-huh.
It was just kind of like yeah, it just seemed
And it looked at one point like he was reading off of something.
Yeah, he was told to say something. You need to do this, but it's all crumbling down. If you see, a lot of people are probably really tired of seeing that kind of way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How he's treating
Yeah.
people, what he's doing. You know,
Yeah.
Everything I got out of that, my mind just went to the girl. Like, what kind of therapy she had to get? What kind of therapy she had to go through? How much does she have to waste on therapy to get her brain
Did you
right?
see what Spank said earlier about now that she was paid off, is she still a victim? I think that's what he said. What do you guys feel about that?
Well,
I mean, she can't take him back to court for anything. She got paid for the abuse, right?
So, yeah, but I believe that Homeland Security could bring you back because she's gonna have to cooperate with authorities because now they have it on footage. She's gonna have to cooperate now. Like that's I mean, she might not get no more money. Maybe she might. I don't know, but she's
Okay.
gonna have to
They
cooperate.
said they couldn't do nothing about it because of the statute of limitations, right?
Yeah.
Which is what,
Yeah.
like 5 years? I think it was 5 years or something like that. So
Yeah.
That's why they can't pursue that, but we'll see what happens, Who
This
knows?
footage still helps. You know what I mean? That's what
Yeah.
that's what took me out. It's like
Yeah.
this footage. It's
Yeah.
like
I mean, the footage is going to help women that he may have within the last 15 years.
Yeah.
It could bring forth, obviously more potential victims and people claiming to be victims.
Yeah.
Now, would I say that, does that make her a victim or is she, I know a lot of people don't like to be labeled. Some women and men don't like to be called a victim. Some of them do say victim, some say survivor. I think,
Mhm.
yeah, she's always going to be known
Yes.
as the woman who was abused by P. Diddy. Like, she's either going to always be known as his victim, and she can change that and phrase it as I'm a survivor, but
Survivor.
she'll always be known for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 lawsuits as well, right, Spanks? That's right, against him right now,
7 years, yeah, statute of limitations.
right?
You know.
Yeah, she was abused. Facts. Yep.
Well, you know what? But I mean, yeah, I mean, people think like $30 million. That's not going to solve her emotion,
Right.
her emotion in it already. Because I mean, and you know what? I always go back to this. It's one thing to say, oh, this and this happened. Let's just say this is outside the lying part. If somebody says, oh, you know what, I went through this in my life, male or female, it's one thing to hear the story. It's another thing to live it. When you lived it, it's a different story. And nobody else, unless they witnessed it, are going to really take that into consideration about it.
That's
And
true.
I just think it's a sad thing. I think she's going to need more than just $30 million, and I don't mean financially. I mean spiritually within herself. Because you could have 60 million for that matter, or 90 million for that matter, if you want. But if you're not in peace in your heart, it means nothing. It means nothing at all. And that goes for anybody in any amount of money or any kind of hostility towards anybody. You know what I mean? If you're not peaceful in your heart, you're not going to be happy.
You're right, and that's where it comes within yourself. Letting it go
Yeah.
or giving it to God,
And
or however you find peace.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And back
you're right.
to the what we were talking about the the untruths about somebody, whether you're male or female. There's no way you can go on and feel good about it knowing that you lied.
Yeah.
I mean, that's gonna karma is a I believe in karma. I don't know about anybody else, but that cannot be a good thing. Period. I mean, to me, that's how I see about it. I mean, that cannot be a good thing knowing that that's coming. At some point or another, it's gonna come and it's gonna hit. And we'll see how well you can handle that. I mean, it's just whether you're male or female. I don't think that's a good thing. But I think that if somebody, okay, I'll say it like this: if somebody does you dirty, I think it's best to. And I've said it before on here. I have a hard time forgiving, but if you try to cleanse yourself and be like, you know what, no, I forgive them, and it is what it is, then you know what, hey, anything outside of that, it's not in my hands no more. It's in, you don't call it karma, leave it in God's hands, whichever way it goes. And that's where we got to be, because if we try to take it into our own hands, we're feeding into the negativity, But as far as back to the Diddy thing, I mean, that guy has no way out, man. Hey, look, it's a joke. No Way Out. That was the name of his album, right? But anyways, I made a joke there without wanting to, right? He has no he has no way out. I mean, it's just, it's ironically,
He will be dealt with. Whatever comes with that, I mean, he's gonna definitely get what's coming to him. I mean, if you want to say that's karma or whatever, he'll definitely have to deal with that. That is what it is.
That's true.
And we witnessed it. Look at this success and the amount of money he's had. And look, can you imagine if the amount of years that even let's say even Kim Porter, or I'll be sure for that matter, or the people that he pretty much kind of pushed aside, the people he made walk across the Brooklyn Bridge to go get cheesecake, humiliate him. No purpose in that whatsoever. It's just a power trip. There's no purpose in that.
That's true. And what Jenny's saying right here, I'm going to say this. Therapy is beneficial. That's true, because like the young lady, Cassie, she's always going to have those things she's going to have to deal with internally, like looking back on the abuse. And that's true. Like, even if you move on, you're in a new relationship, you're a lot of times going to have triggers and things that make you kind of resort back to how you felt when something happened.
You know how P. Diddy said That and the thing, he hit rock bottom, right?
Oh yeah.
I don't think he hit rock bottom. He was they were told to say that because he was doing things like this way before, you know. And
Yeah.
so I don't think it's not like, oh, I hit rock bottom. No,
Right.
he's just saying
Oh,
that to try to say, okay, now I'm lifting myself up and changing. No,
Yeah.
No, he has not hit rock bottom yet, dude. He's thinking, but they're coming for him. There's gonna be more. He'll be arrested and he'll be taken in, and
Yep.
that'll be that. You know.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's right.
right.
You
Yep.
guys,
Yeah, well.
let's shift into this different
Okay.
topic. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's long, but I was looking at this story as well. It was like House of Representatives get into it. It was talking about two of the females that sit in the House of Representatives, right? They got into like a little verbal back and forth. And I was like, what is this?
Oh, talked about our eyelashes.
I thought, well, dang, no wonder we can't get anything accomplished if this is how people are going at each other. Let's see if I can find it. And like I said, I'll play part of it, but
I know what you're talking about.
okay, is this it?
You weren't talking about. I guess
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No,
what you're
ain't
reading.
nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order.
Mr. Chairman,
That's beneath
would
even
you
your
please
history.
regain
That's beneath
order
even
of your
you.
committee?
Order.
I do have a point of order, and I would like to move to take down Ms. Green's words. That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack
meeting will
the
suspend.
physical
Meeting will
appearance of another
suspend.
person?
Are your
Move
feelings
her
hurt?
words down.
Aw.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play. with
Baby
me.
girl? I don't
We
think
are going to
so.
move, and we're going to take your words down.
I
Thank you very
second that motion.
So who will have to pay? Okay. Ms. Green agrees to strike her words.
I believe she
Chair
should
recognizes
apologize. No. She
Perry.
should apologize.
Okay, hold on. Then after Mr. Perry's going to be recognized, then Ms. Green
I'm not
has 4 minutes and
apologizing.
21
Well,
seconds.
then
Okay,
you're
reserve
not
the right to
striking your
object.
words.
I am
Mr.
not
Chair.
apologizing.
Now let's go. Come on, guys.
Why don't you debate me?
Mr. Chairman, the
I
minority.
think it's pretty self.
All I could say, if I could say anything about that, is that lady Marjorie Green
Yeah.
got some issues, man.
Yes,
She's
she-
got really.
Hey, I like her though, but
I don't like her because she has a.
your eyelashes in the way.
That was funny, but the part where the other chick comes back, it was way further in the video, so I couldn't leave it playing. But
Yeah,
she
that
said
was funny,
something
yeah.
about after saying like, "How dare you talk about my appearance?" Which is true. I'm like, that's not the place. to
No,
go.
yeah.
But she said something to her about being a bad body built. Like they just went off, and I'm thinking these poor guys. They're probably like, how are we gonna wrangle these two women in to like each other and get back to business?
Even her own party kind of like blackballed her for something a comment she made last time.
Really?
Yeah.
She makes a lot of comments.
And that's kind of sad.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just look at her as a person. She's always speaking up. A lot of people like the Trumpsters. Okay, I'm not one of them. I'm sorry, but I'm not.
I didn't even know what she was.
And
Hilarious.
I don't even know what
no,
happened.
yeah,
before that,
but
so I'm
to
just
look
saying.
at that, should that be happening in Congress right there?
No.
It shouldn't be happening.
I mean, there's so much more crap. that
Yeah.
happen,
I know we're only human beings, but what is that showing the country, man?
No,
right
yeah.
there.
Right.
You know?
That's what I was thinking. Is that's just thinking
Yeah.
that, and that's embarrassing. Like for the rest of the world to see this is what they're doing in their little meetings.
You know what? I'm not much of a political guy.
Mhm.
That really knows and follows a lot of that stuff. But I will say this: I think that we reach a point in life due to social media that there was a time where we looked at celebrities or people in the whether it was music, movies, or whatever, or candidates and presidential, Congress, stuff like that. We had a certain image of them, and now through social media, we're seeing that they're just human like everybody else, and it kind of exposes that in a sense to show that either they're in the wrong or they have the same attitude as anybody else for that matter. I mean, I'm not defending it. I'm not saying that they're right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, what are they in high school? That's what I was thinking, Jamie. I was like, what the heck?
But when it's on public television, and then there's other people that are seeing it and kids seeing it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But Shelby has a way of throwing little things like Republicans for you. That's no, it's not. It's
Not all Republicans, just
comment that shouldn't have on.
that's not all Republicans, but that's a Trumpster.
Well, look at CNN.
Republican.
You guys want to talk NBC? All those fake news channels that turn and come and twist Trump's words around. That pisses me off. Like Fox,
Marvelous.
they tell you the truth, and they don't turn the narrative of what he really said. So when he really talks, you guys go watch that NBC and CNN and all the fake channel news that turn his words around. That's what pisses me off too.
Well, see, when they start doing that voiceover, if that's what you're talking about, but I look at it, whatever comes out of his mouth, his voice is from him.
We could touch on this next week too, but what Biden said at the NCA, what Biden said at the NCA graduate college he just went to, he basically put them down. He was putting he was not saying congratulations to you all, blah blah blah. He was really like putting them down, like
I didn't
so
see
many
that.
black men, killed and da da da. Well, okay, where are your facts that show what white men went and killed these black people? Like, no, come on now. You look at their facts. Like, but he I'm sorry, but he just did not congratulate those kids whatsoever.
I say Liz Cheney for 2024.
It just gets me heated because people want to throw little comments like that, like, "Oh, Republican." No, girl. If you're a girl,
you know what I seen on TV. You know what I seen on TV today?
Our own opinions,
of course, but don't say that. Don't say that.
I watched a different channel today, and it was about these people from UK, right? And they were talking about our military and showing videos, and I was like watching for about an hour, and I was tripping out on how they saw the United States. And then I watched another video, right? And then one came about Joe Biden. So it was kind of funny because the girl goes, "Yeah, oh, Joe Biden, man, just show him little girls and the pretty hair or some stuff."
Yeah.
And then they said something else, and it was a trip, man. But how they look at our country from another country, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And you know what?
Like a joke.
I haven't seen a good candidate that would really take care of the country and really think about the people, not just both sides. You know what I'm saying? And just in general, I haven't seen a good candidate. None of them right now. One's too old, and the other one's just too into himself, man, and it's not cool.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing we can take away from this situation and last week's topics and everything is be careful with the clips of videos we're fed.
Yes.
Look at things in their entirety, because it can make a scenario or a situation what it actually was.
Be careful, Jen, and be careful of artificial intelligence, because they can also switch things around, and you may think it's really that person talking. That's where it gets scary. Artificial intelligence.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys noticed this in like your YouTube studios, but like when we're uploading a video or a live now, there's a section that asks us straight up, and we have to answer if there was anything in the video altered to make the person appear like they were saying something that they weren't really saying.
Yeah. And that's real. And we got to be careful. I was watching a movie about this. It was an older movie, but it was talking about artificial intelligence. And that's the route it's taking right now, man. And it's scary and it's crazy. Yeah, just like is it GPT that you could go to your computer? If you need an essay written out or anything like that, man, it'll put it together for like this. I tried it, right? And I typed in there, I had this thing about a song I want to write, and I just put about a song. It put that song out like that. Bam, I wrote the lyrics to the song right there, and it was crazy.
You know what's a trip though when you watch right now we said about movies and stuff. When you I recently rewatched The Enemy of the State,
Okay.
and when I honestly, at first, when you first see it, it's like, oh wow, but when you watch it today, it's not far fetched from what's
Yeah.
really happening. I mean, you just go like, wow, like okay, um, movies like that are really, like in the political and all this other stuff is like, AI. What is the AI intelligence? iRobot. And stuff like that. What's there's another one. I forget what. There's a bunch of them, but
What tripped me out like that was the movie with Angelina Jolie and Salt. It was the one where she's like,
also,
Yeah.
cover,
So
I won't go too deep into it, but Russian,
bless you. Bless you.
by, oh yeah.
yes, yes.
There's a lot of
See,
movies that are
You know the thing is right now is that each country is building their own artificial intelligence, which they're competing with each other. You see, so
Yeah.
that's what it's going to be scary.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It's just,
absolutely.
and you know what, guys? I want to give a shout out to because I saw him in here earlier. Marvelous Minds. I want to give a shout out to him. But I had a great conversation with him. I think it was last week, and he just a good guy all around. Man. A good guy all around. Solid guy, really good. Love and respect to you, my brother. Love and respect.
He is. I got to meet him in person too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll have to definitely do some. It is election year. We'll do some topics based on how we feel and those things as it gets a little closer. So I've got to do a lot of brushing up because I normally don't, like I said, get into the whole political thing, but I will be because I do plan on voting in November. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
we all, those of us that can vote, we should exercise that right and do so. Yeah.
Yeah, Jenny.
But
Oh,
with this wrapping up this show, is there anything that you have going on this week, House? As far as
Tomorrow we're gonna have Morning Glory. Yeah.
Okay.
And I got those gifts in, and I'm kind of like, I got some gifts to give away. There's gonna be 3 of them that are given away. It's nothing real great, but it's something that you can carry with you, and just basically, godly Christian kind of like thing, and so we're going to be giving them away. We're going to do a Bible trivia with Monica and I. Yeah.
Okay,
So
that should be
yeah,
fun.
you don't care how you search it. You could Google it. You could get your Bible, whatever, And then Friday we're going live at 8 o'clock to 10 with Strange Days. So if you guys want to tap in there, tap in. You're more than welcome to come on the panel or just join us and talk about topics, music, whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Sweet.
That sounds a good one. Yeah. What do you have going on this week, Denise? Anything exciting that you're planning to do? Or
7:30,
No.
Jenny.
No, I have nothing that I know of right now. I know that, usually if I have something planned for the weekend, I already know. But no, nothing much.
okay, we'll see what goes on. Yeah, do something maybe this week too. But Fred, what about yourself? What do you have going on this week? Anything you want to share?
Well, this week I'm debating whether to put out 2 videos out this week. Maybe one tomorrow, but I'm not sure. I might let it go on Friday. The Chevy Chase one I was talking about, I might just push it to Friday and kind of give it the whole break of my opinion on things. The other thing is, as far as anything else, I mean, I'm still going through the physical therapy thing. I'm trying to really push through this too because I will just. I'm not going to say too much. Let's just say I'm trying to get to surgery ASAP, and the doctor's pushing that. So, yeah, because it's starting to get old. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pushing towards that, and yeah. But other than that, I mean, no, I think I got a pretty laid back week. For that matter.
Easy, yeah. Kick back.
Yeah.
Well, I have a couple people down for interviews. I need to connect with them and get a time stamp on that. But I'm excited to share them with you guys once we get it done. So
Nice.
Hopefully I can lock those in this week. You know, maybe
Yeah.
at least one of them edited and ready to go to drop this week.
Yeah, I
Okay.
watched your one with the green eyes. Yeah, I watched part of it. I didn't finish it, but yeah, I watched part of it.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. And
Cool. Yeah,
yeah, it's good people. And she actually is sending someone my way that you guys will really enjoy this one.
Right on.
that's cool. That's great.
Yeah,
That's great.
big stomps. Yeah, I do. Actually, I have two of them. One's the the number 2, and then face_ENT on Instagram, and then the other one's the THA_Grindhouse. It's all one word. Those are my 2 IGs.
I'll have them in the description box of this live.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
But yeah, so that's what I will be working on. Have those, and you know, try and do another live this week. Throw a video in there and see what we do. See what Denise is up to. Maybe we'll figure something out. Some girl time.
Yeah.
With that said, I just want to thank everyone in the chat, everyone that tapped in, all the
Thank
silent.
you guys for being here.
Thank you, sis.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Winner, Marvelous, everybody.
Yeah.
Earl, Drunken Chef.
Bye, guys. Gotta go. Love you guys.
I'll be in touch with you. All right, much love. Yes, thanks to everyone here tonight. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, all new topics. If you guys have a suggestion of something you want us to cover, go ahead and put it in the chats and we will check it out and put it in next week's show. You guys can head over to, I believe Gilu is live right now, so go over there and show some love. Okay?
Okay, God bless you guys.
God bless you guys.
God bless.
God bless.